Hey, what's up everybody? It is Carlos Collects Comics and I'm back with another video. This one is going to be a little bit longer because this is going to be my local comic shop back issue sale haul. Plus, I'm dropping in 3 reasons why I think it's beneficial to plug into a local comic shop. A lot of us may be online buyers, especially during the COVID shutdown. We might have become more online buyers than we were in the future or than we were in the past. But moving forward, I still think that a brick and mortar local comic shop, a healthy one, can be a great beneficial thing both for you and for your community and for the comic shop, which we need to keep them open. We need to frequent them and build relationships with them. So I'm going to get to those in just a second, but I want to explain what the video was. The majority of this video is a lot of G.I. Joe from the original Marvel 1980s series. I've decided to build a run of that, and so I've got quite a few issues. And in between those, mixed in with those, I'm going to make 3 recommendations for books that you should pick up. You might have heard that Deadline announced that there's a streaming show in development featuring the Lady J character, and it's going to be in the G.I. Joe universe. And so I think that there's, everybody's gone for number 32, which is the first appearance of Lady J, but there's 2 peripheral books to that one that I really think you should consider picking up before anybody else gets to them. So we're going to get to that, but 3 reasons why I think it's beneficial to plug into a local comic shop. Number 1 is that it makes for healthy interpersonal relationships. Sometimes we get behind a keyboard or we get in a little nook and we're reading our comic books and we're not getting as much interpersonal conversation, or we get into the habit of doing it through comments or text messages or through screens like this. But it is healthy and good for us as people to be mixing in with other people in the same space. And I love going to my local comic shop and just talking to the different guys about comics and what I like and what they like, what do they recommend, what have they seen, saying hi to them. And there's a neat feeling of community that I also get that at church. But the comic side is a very cool thing. And these guys are interested in the same things that I am. That's why they work there. So I think it makes for healthy interpersonal relationships. Also, number 2, supporting small businesses is critical right now. We're living in a time, especially after this past year, that has been brutal for small businesses. So anything we can do to support the brick and mortar stores in our communities is vital. And it's not just going to benefit us, it's also going to benefit the community, because the more comic shops that are open, the more interpersonal relationships we get, the better the overall ecosystem is. And I'm a big fan of places where you can get reading material being physical, because I think there's something special about tangible items, like things that we can pick up and flip through and read. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Bad Idea philosophy is cool, is that they're not doing digital, they're just doing print. And I think that's good. I think that's okay. The third benefit to plugging into a local comic shop is that it's mutually beneficial. I've had multiple instances over just the past year where a book has come out, I've not been able to find a copy, and I talked to my comic shop, and even though I'd failed to put it on my pull list, they were able to reach out to their network and find me a copy, most of the time at cover price. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And while I do sell some comics from time to time, I'm first and foremost a collector, a fan, and a reader. And so it's important to me to be able to pick up some of these stories and get a hold of certain comics, read them, and then, if they go up in value and if it's not something that I'm keeping for my core personal collection, I will sell it off. But it's beneficial when your comic shop is able to help you find a title that you haven't been able to find, or that you're curious about checking out, or even if they can make recommendations, which there's been some really good ones that I found because guys at the comic shop made recommendations, and I picked them up, I read them, and I really liked them. So those are my three reasons for that are benefits for plugging into a local comic shop. Let's get to the comics from this haul. This is a lengthy one, so this video will be a little bit longer, but I think you're going to enjoy it, and I'm certainly going to enjoy showing some of these books to you. So I'm going to start with all the G.I. Joe ones first, and these are, I'll tell you grades and prices. They've already been dressed up nicely in their Mylars for their debut on the channel. So starting with G.I. Joe number 4. All right, I'm sorry, my light is causing glares. Yeah, so G.I. Joe number 4, just an iconic cover. This is the original new team. This is a near mint copy. I did get this one for $10. I think it's like a $30 book, but it definitely needs a press. Number 6, this is a near mint. I'm calling this a near mint minus. This is the first appearance of the October Guard. The October Guard was like the Russian equivalent of the G.I. Joe team. And so, remember during the 80s, you had communist Russia was in full swing. So this was kind of a neat, oddity of its time that, it was a big deal that the, G.I. Joe, the real American hero, was teaming up with the Russian version to go up against Cobra. So that's a neat pickup. And like I said, that's a near mint minus. I also got number 7, which is the continuation of that same story. And that's a near mint also. All these books, if I decide to get them slabbed at any point, I will definitely get them pressed. I always believe anytime you're going to submit a book for slabbing, you absolutely should press it. You should get it pressed and cleaned first. So this is G.I. Joe number 8, and this is in a near mint minus. G.I. Joe number 12, this is not necessarily a key per se, but it is an earlier issue, and this is a near mint minus. Number 13 this is a near mint minus copy, and number 13 is it's the second cameo appearance of Destro. He had multiples, and then this is the first Torpedo. One of the interesting things about the G.I. Joe run is that because of the requirements that Hasbro was putting on Marvel for the licensing, they did require, every couple of issues a brand new G.I. Joe character was being introduced, and the cartoon was the same way. And it's interesting, yeah, because it's like every couple of issues there's a brand new character popping up, and that's why the appearances are spread all throughout the run. So and then for nostalgia reasons also is why I went with a full run, with assembling a full run for myself for my personal collection. So this is number 15 right here, and this is a near mint minus. And number 15 is the first appearance of Major Blood. He was the guy with the black helmet and the eye patch, and you might remember him from the cartoon. Let's see, number 16, which I've always just loved this cover, the striking cover of them fighting on that tank, Destro fighting with him, or on that. No, I think it's a gangplank for the Cobra Terradrome. Number 16 is the first appearance of Cover Girl and Tripwire, and this is a very fine minus copy. So this definitely could use a clean and press. It's got a couple of sharper dents and I think a couple of color breaking spine ticks. Okay, number 22. Excellent cover to begin with. All right. And then this is a very fine plus to near mint. So I would call this like an 8.5 to 9.2. With a press, I could see it being a 9.2, maybe a 9.4, but probably not more than that. So this is the first appearance of Duke and Roadblock. Now, they've already appeared in movies before, played by Channing Tatum and The Rock. But what's important, I think, about these two characters is that if they're going to do a Lady J series, I don't know that they're going to. These are a further reach, but I think this is a key, and I think it's an undervalued key. I was able to get this one for only $10, which was half price of what it was marked for, which was 20. But I think it's worth more, and I've seen, I think Go Collect is pricing it at more. But these are two critical characters that have already been exploited in media, and I feel like if they're going to do the Snake Eyes origin film, and they're going to do the G.I. Joe TV show where Lady J is going to be the focal character, there's a good chance that these two characters, which are essential to G.I. Joe lore, might show up. So I'm pegging this as one of the ones to pick up before it gets larger. So this is G.I. Joe. Again, this is G.I. Joe number 22, and it's the first appearance of Duke and Roadblock. And it's just a cool cover and part of the run. Number 25. This is a big book right here. Right here, and you see him right on the cover. This is the first appearance of Zartan. He was he's also been exploited in media before, but I mean, he's just one of the coolest characters from G.I. Joe. He's the master of disguise. And then the toy, if you remember the toy would change colors. I think when you got him, you got water on him, or I think it was sunlight. Yeah, when it was sunlight, he would turn blue. And I think they wrote that into the story also. This is a near mint minus to near mint copy. It was, I think, the priciest of the lot that I got, but it was the first appearance of Zartan, the first team appearance of the Dreadnoks. Those were like his soldiers, those biker guys. The first appearance of Deep Six, and the first appearance of Mutt and Junkyard. And so it's another key to pick up. All right, number 26. This is one that I think is on a lot of people's radars because it's associated with Snake Eyes. This is the first part of his origin story. I already have a copy of this and the second part, but I came across this one. It was a very fine to very fine plus, and it was only going to run me $6, so I said, why not? I'm going to go ahead and pick up a second copy of it. But this is, like I said, the origin of Snake Eyes, the first hard master and the first soft master. He had, I think, the hard master, the soft master, the blind master, and then there was, I think, one or two other people in his clan, his ninja clan, that would make their debuts later. Now, of course, the first appearance of Storm Shadow was in issue number 21. So that was a few issues prior to this. And that's really one of the top three big keys for the G.I. Joe run. But I recommend picking up the Origin, which is 26 and 27 for the Snake Eyes movie. So I had number 29. This is just a nostalgia pickup. It was only $4. It's a near mint minus to near mint. It's again also going to need a press, but again, it's just part of the run that I wanted to build. There's no first appearances in that one. Number 31 is the first appearance of Spirit, which was the Native American G.I. Joe character. And I mean, this is just such a cool cover. This Snake Eyes, being attacked by Destro. This is when Destro was still brand new to the book. He'd only been in for about 15 issues or so. But I'm putting this at a fine plus to very fine minus. It was only $2, so after the discount, so why not? But I mean, it's a little beat up. But some of these books, I get them if it's for a decent price. I get them just as placeholders, and you can do this for your collecting. If you're building a run, go ahead and get that low grade copy if it's not too much money, because everybody's got to start somewhere. You could always sell it off later on if the book starts to rise in price, and it's great for you to build a placeholder, because then the next phase of building that run is to upgrade the lower grade copies. Now with G.I. Joe, fortunately, when sales like this come along, I'm able to scoop up chunks of them, and they're fairly relatively inexpensive. So it doesn't take, there's not a lot of books that as of right now had gotten too high up there. So okay, so this is The second book to recommend, obviously by this point, by the time you watch this video, everybody knows about this book. You may know about the other two recommendations, but number 32 is the first appearance of Lady J, but it's also the first appearance of Blowtorch and Ripcord, which were two other G.I. Joe characters. It's just such a cool cover with Zartan and the Dreadnoks riding into battle. But this is her first appearance, so it has skyrocketed in price. I bought this, I think, the day before the sale because I didn't want to take a chance. I got it for $4, and it was a fine minus to fine. And, you know, every grade of this book has shot up in value right now because nobody wants to miss out. I think they'll come down a little bit because it is a fairly decent-sized print run. But I think, you know, it's worth picking up if you can find it for a good price. I know I was bidding on a copy, a CGC 9.6 on eBay that ended up, I think it ended at like 176, and I just, you know, you could come back to this video, you know, a year from now, and I might have been a fool for passing it up, but I just wasn't going to pay 176 out of FOMO. I just wasn't going to do it. You know, I figured if it was under $100, it might be worth taking a flyer on, but I wasn't going to go that high for it, and it's not even a 9.8. So, but I think it's worth picking this book up if you can find it for a decent price. Decent price to me is under $25 to $30. If it's over $30, I think it's overpriced. But if it's in mid-grade or higher, under $30, you know, I'm thinking like 10, 15, yeah, pick it up because it's a good one to have. Number 35, man, such a cool cover. This is a near mint minus. There's only $3 at the sale. So just, man, some of these covers were just really, really well done. Number 36, I'm showing here. This is one of these, I don't know if this is like a painted cover or what, but they had a few covers in the run like this. This is near mint minus to near mint. And it's just, they're really, really neat covers, the design on these. It's kind of like a painted style, almost animated style. Number 37, okay. This is my third recommendation for a speculation book to pick up before it goes, you know, really high. So this is G.I. Joe number 37. This is a near mint minus copy. I was able to get this copy for $3 after the discount. So it was $6 retail. $6, I mean, you can spend that all day. We pay almost that much for brand new books now, and this I think is a much better bet. So this is the first appearance of Tomax and Zaymont, which if you remember from the characters, they were those obnoxious aristocrats, twin brothers that had the accent, and if you punch one, the other one felt it. It was comical. I mean, they were cool, and they were cool character designs, and the idea of them being twin businessmen was awesome, and I think became a lot more serious after The Social Network. But Tomax and Zaymont, their first appearance, it's the first appearance of Flint. Now, this is the key character that I'm going to point out to you. If Lady J is going to be the central protagonist of the new G.I. Joe character, all throughout comics, shows, movies, and the cartoon and everything, Lady J has always been paired with Flint. So, I mean, to me, this is a no-brainer if you know G.I. Joe lore. If Lady J is rumored to be the lead and it comes through that she is, you better believe that Flint is going to be coming right with her. Okay, he's going to be part of the team. His first appearance, undervalued, I think, radically undervalued, and that's not even taking into account the Tomax and Zaymont. So this is a book worth picking up. So, you know, you're welcome. Oh. Okay, I've got some filler issues, number 38 in a near mint to near mint plus. You know, but for $3 a piece, you can't go wrong on these issues. Number 52 is a near mint. This is actually under $3. And I think this is a Zek cover, a Mike Zek cover. Number 57, and there you go. There's the power couple right there, Lady J and Flint, side by side with Destro. This is worth it for the cover alone. This is a near mint. Got this one for only $2. Here's another key. This is number 59. G.I. Joe number 59, very fine plus to near mint minus. Only $2.50 to buy this one. This is the first appearance of Jinx. She was the female ninja that was from, she's also been in the movie before too. Tunnel Rat, Outback, the Blind Master, and Raptor. He's the guy on the cover. He was kind of a ridiculous character when you think about it, but I think they were running out of themes for the Cobra characters. Number 96 isn't a key, but this is for me, this is a nostalgia pickup. I remember this storyline and picking these up at the grocery store as a kid. It's just such a cool cover. Near mint minus, only $3. Definitely needs a press. This is another one. I think this was these also came, I think, in 3-packs or something. This is number 97, where he is paired up with, I think it's Rock and Roll is paired up with the Canadian Mounted Police. And that was a neat story. This is a near mint minus for this one. Number 135. So towards the end of the run. At this point, we're about 20 issues or less than 2 years out from the title being ended. And at this point, I think, sales were faltering. So they had, and obviously Snake Eyes has always been the most interesting character, or he's always been the kind of the go-to popular character for the franchise. So they went to G.I. Joe starring Snake Eyes and Ninja Force. And this is number 135. Now, it's still the main, even though the masthead is a little bit cluttered for my taste, this is still the main title. This was what they were putting out. This is a near mint plus copy. And as it got towards the end of the run, the books got more scarce, so the price is higher as you get to the end, and I'll talk about some of those prices. So this was number 137, starring Snake Eyes and Ninja Force, but scratched out for Scarlet, because I guess they did a redesign on Scarlet here. Very, very 90s artwork. This is a very fine copy. I got 2 copies of this next one. Number 138, they're both direct editions. Number 138, this is again featuring Snake Eyes and Ninja Force. And I also got this copy is a near mint copy. And then I also did get a near mint copy that was still in the poly bag with the collector card. So there's a poly bag and a collector card for this one. It's still sealed. So I'm calling it a near mint. Number 139, this is a really cool cover. They teamed up with the Transformers, the 2 big franchises from Hasbro. This is a near mint copy, and number 139 is getting towards the end of the run. And as you can see, they were trying different things to keep it going and keep people interested in it. It wasn't the same type of pseudo-military feel that you had at the original, in the original series. So I much prefer the earlier parts of the run. But these other ones, they're worth picking up, I think, if you're trying to build a full run. Number 145, and there's not really any notable new characters being introduced in the later parts of the runs. It's all, the value is driven primarily by scarcity. So number 145 here, this is a near mint plus copy. And then the last one I picked up was number 150. And this was a very fine minus to very fine. It was priced at $30, and so I got it for $15. But from 150 to 155, there were very low print runs, and so they're hard to come by, especially in high grade. And then 155 is the 3rd most expensive G.I. Joe book that you're going to find. Of course, number 1 is the big one, and I had a slab CGC 9.6 copy of that from a while back. before it started to go up in price. So I already had the number 1. Then the number 21, which is the silent issue and also the first appearance of Storm Shadow. So that's a popular one, and that one's, I think, currently going for anywhere from, depending on which printing you get and the condition of it, it can go anywhere from $150 all the way up to $300-$400. It just depends on a bunch of different factors. But the number 155, which was the final issue in the run, now is going for between $150 and $200 in the high grade, and that's crazy when you think about it, because it's the last issue. So this next stack that I'm going to show off, these are books that I picked up that are either personal collection or speculation, or both. So I've been a huge fan of Jim Lee's artwork for since I was a teenager, a middle schooler. And to see these for $2 a piece in high grade, the Punisher Hawaiian Vacation storyline, it's just awesome. I was actually rereading it last night, and just, man, I had all the feels. So this is number 17. That's a Near Mint Plus. This is number 18, which is also a Near Mint Plus. And then my favorite cover out of the run, Punisher on a jet ski with a massive machine gun. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It's Near Mint Plus. All 3 of them were for $2. So for the personal collection, I wanted to put those, in there. I came across this. It wasn't on my want list, but I had picked up the Darkwing Duck limited miniseries and had always been a fan of the Disney afternoon cartoon shows. And one of my favorites, although it didn't have the coolest theme song, it had I thought, one of the coolest vehicle designs in the plane. And that was the show Tailspin. So my local comic shop puts together bricks of series, like for reading. And I've had some good luck with them, because sometimes they've got really high grade copies in them. Well, these are all at least, I'd say, a 9.0. But it's the complete limited series for Tailspin. And this is number 1 in Near Mint, number 2 in Near Mint Minus, number 3. This is Near Mint Plus. This is slab worthy right here, this one. I mean, it is clean. It is clean. Like, this is easy without oppressing a 9.6. And then number 4, which, they have a little bit of staining on them because of the, I think, sun wear and light exposure from, because they're white covers. So this one I'm putting at a very fine, but if it wasn't for this little kind of, I don't know if it's sun damage, or I don't know if there's anything that could be done for it, but if it wasn't for that, I mean, all of these would be Near Mint Pluses. So that was a nice pickup, and I got the full set of all 4 for $15. I mean, you can't beat it. They had a copy of Alpha Flight, number 1. And I got that for, I think it was $8. This is one, I'm a fan of White Tiger, and the dual first storyline that he appeared in actual comic book as opposed to the magazine format. The other half of that is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 10. And I was able to get that for $5. This was kind of cool. 2 copies of Thrawn number 6 for $7 a piece. They had them at an 8.5. I'd agree with that, 8 to 8.5. They've both got a couple major spine dings on them, which is, I think it's going to keep them from getting above a 9.2 even after a press. My Uncanny X-Men run that I kind of sort of work on sometimes, this is $7 for an 8.5 version of the Fairy Tale issue, which I like. This was just a flyer for $2 that I picked up. Spider-Man 2, number 2. Okay, and then here's my Bronze and Silver Age stuff that I picked up. Master of Kung Fu, or Special Marvel Edition number 16, featuring Shang-Chi. This is only at about a good condition, And so I think it's like his second or third appearance, and it's the first appearance of Midnight, this character. But for $3, yeah, I'm picking that up. Doctor Strange number 175 in fine to very fine condition. This was only 14 bucks, and it is a really, really nice copy. It's got some smudging here in the top left, in the top two corners, but I mean, it's in really good condition, and it is a key. It's the first appearance of somebody, I don't remember who right offhand, but it is Doctor Strange number 175. It is a first appearance, and yeah, again, good Silver Age books like that, in decent condition for 14 bucks. Yeah, I'm not passing that up. Okay, Marvel Spotlight number 1, the first appearance of Red Wolf, and I'm putting this in about a fine, which would be about a 6 to 6.5. And again, got this one for very, for a really decent price, and it was a nice copy. And I've been reading the new Werewolf by Night by Night series, the new relaunch, the reboot that they did with a new character, and Red Wolf has shown up as a supporting character, and I think it's actually a pretty good use. It's actually a pretty good place to plug him in, given the new backstory for the new Werewolf by Night. So I thought this was a really cool find that I find, and it was just chilling there in the Silver Age back issue section. Okay, Fantastic Four number 65, and this is the first appearance of Ronan the Accuser. Now I know he's already shown up in the MCU, but good plus for 10 bucks. Yeah, I'm picking that up. And last one. Now this one actually, I think, was next to the Doctor Strange, was my favorite LCS haul pickup. This is Fantastic Four number 73, and look at that classic cover. I mean, this is a beautiful book right here, and this is in a fine minus, give or take, and it was only 14 bucks. So I wasn't going to pass it up. And I mean, it's really, really presents well. It's a beautiful cover. So yeah, it's staples firmly attached. It's got some creasing and stuff, but I mean, it is a really clean cover for it being a white cover. It's, a little bit browned and tanned with age, but that was a great, after a press, it could even come back as 6 or 6.5. So yeah, I was real happy to see that and pick it up. So that is my local comic shop back issue sale haul video. We've been going for 33 minutes. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I hope that the recommendations I made end up panning out for you. Drop a comment for me and let me know if you're able to find a copy of any of those 3 books. I'm going to continue to be on the hunt for those 3, and I hope that you find some too if you're a G.I. Joe fan. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to leave a comment, like I said, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd mean a lot to me, and it'd be great because I want to continue to serve up some good content. And I hope that things continue to go well for you and your collecting goals for 2021. And just a quick reminder that if you're going to speculate on story. And that's the recommendations that I'm making today, is not just Lady J for the show, but also the first appearance of Flint and the first appearance of Duke and Roadblock, because that's a story-driven speculation. It's a simple leap in logic that if one part of a power couple in a franchise is going to show up, you're probably going to see the other one. So take care, and this is Carlos Collects Comics. I'm excited to have shared this with you, and I'll be seeing you later.